Here we go, his first collegiate snap. What a spot as the Tigers come up 1st and 10. They will let him throw here on the very first play. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
A gain there of 21 yards.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. That one good for 15 and a first. A good throw there, but boy, a tough situation for this offense, for this program, really. When you think about it, Marcus Washington, 4-year starter, came in as a true freshman to lead this team. He's 3rd all-time in passing yards in school history, 2nd in touchdowns, twice an All-American, a Heisman finalist, all that stuff. Never missed a game in his college career, 53 starts, but now he sits and watches as his understudy for the last 4 years finally gets his shot in the leading role. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. And a good run as he manages 7 yards down to the 17. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. 2nd and 3. Pretty effective run there. Now they can start to smell that end zone. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all this stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Here's a 2nd and 7.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain. Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
It'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The offense for the Sooners set to take over again. And a 3 and out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive.
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback because he had no chance to block it.
Fulton sets to pass it. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Pulled in at the 24. Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. The offense for LSU back out there, ready to go. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gassed.
Yeah, a little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield and giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
This young quarterback does have a support system of former players and teammates. In fact, he heard from former Tigers like OBJ, Jarvis Landry, Leonard Fournette, Jamal Adams. All have reached out to him on social media in the days leading up to this semifinal. The Tigers of LSU looking for their 4th title in school history. They were champs way back in 1958. And twice in this century so far, 2003 and 2007. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be. You just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball. It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops. Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off around the 37.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd down now. Gould trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up 1st downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
Let's go.
The LSU offense about set to begin their next possession. Charles, so much of this offense the last few years centering around the combination of Marcus Washington and Isaiah Streets. Streets saying Washington's like a second brother to him. And, of course, many know the story. Isaiah's older brother, Ezekiel, tremendous athlete in his own right, but lost too soon to leukemia a year ago next week at the age of 20.
And that is really a gut-wrenching story.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 39.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll run on 1st down. Gould, and running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. And this one is right through. And that will tie us at 3-3. They got the interception, but very little movement after. That forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
1st and 10, LSU. This will be a run with Livingston. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9. Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
On 1st down, Livingston. Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. On 3rd down, Livingston. And he gets this one across midfield for the 1st down to the 46. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? It looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because...
And he's going to lose a yard or 2. Taken down behind the line. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He's going to throw one up for the end zone. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
Hey, kid. Just want to check in with you. How'd you feel about the 1st half?
Hey, let's do it in the 2nd half, baby. Come on.
I definitely could have played better. Got another half to go. Just got to get back there and get on the same page as these guys. Get back out and get after.
That's right. That's all you can do. Just make sure you relax. 2nd half's going to be fine.
The winner goes on, the loser goes home as we start the 2nd half in this semifinal matchup from Arlington. This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The offense for LSU back out there, ready to go. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches. On the ground, it's Livingston. And he's got the 1st down as he's up to the 45-yard line. Thought they might throw the football with a little chunk that they had remaining on 4th down, but they ran it, they got it.
And the reason they were able to get it done, he ran that play with conviction, didn't he? Understood he would get a little bit of help from his friends up front, but it was really on him to go ahead and make the power move and get it done, and that he did.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with him.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. When prepping for this semifinal matchup, we went back and saw all the tape on Isaiah Streets throughout the year. And no matter who you talk with around the game, they say Isaiah Streets, what's so impressive, his route running ability. So much discipline, so much precision. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. He'll get this to Streets on the crossing route. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. And they'll say no to the 46-yard field goal try. They're going to go for it. They'll set up a throw.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Wow, first and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another run here?
I think so.
Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8.
When you're this close to the goal line, you've got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while, but when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all.
That he's into the clear. And he will score. Touchdown, Oklahoma. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. That got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The LSU offense about set to begin their next possession. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Quick slant caught by Streets. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat with a first down. Well, so much made about the fact that we've got a quarterback who's never seen the field in a college football game, but you go back to his high school days, he's played in front of crowds. Maybe not quite this size, but it wasn't abnormal for them to have 15,000, 20,000 people in the stands at his high school games, and the numbers from his senior year as a prepster, impressive. Led his team to a 14-0 record, threw for close to 4,700 yards, 37 touchdowns, just 4 interceptions, and he also chipped in 11 rushing touchdowns to boot. So it's not as if this guy doesn't know what he's doing out there under center. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 2nd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
LSU with a 1st and 10. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing it.
Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, I tell you what, that doesn't look like the throw of a guy who's never played. And he is into the end zone for an LSU touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown run. And LSU has jumped out in front.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it works very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense for Oklahoma back out there on the field. And they hit the home run last drive. 1 play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. The 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
They'll run on 1st down. Livingston gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
It is tough to complete pass against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. And he's able to get this way down deep into enemy territory.
I'm
third down is very simple. Make sure you get beyond the sticks, make the catch, pick up the first down. But in this case, he turned it into bonus time and was off to the races for a monster play.
And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. You got the slim lead late and the football, so why are you throwing it there?
Remember during the year when we asked one of the head coaches, if you're in this spot, why would you throw the ball? And he talked about trust in his quarterback and trust in his offense.
But still.
And then at the end he kind of went, yeah, not really a good reason.
And all the way up to the 47-yard line. First down now, but that clock rolling. They'll look to throw, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain, followed by a sizable loss here. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Back to throw. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Back to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Edwards. That throw good for 4. It's second down. He'll look to throw, and he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now another timeout called for by the offense as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. He's back to throw. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to potentially send us to overtime. And his kick here is good. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
First and 10, LSU. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So that is the end of regulation here in Arlington. Folks here on pins and needles already. It's only going to get worse. Overtime is necessary to decide who goes on to Santa Clara and the national championship game on January 7th. So overtime looming here in Arlington. Each team will get a possession from the defense's 25-yard line. If the score remains tied after each team has had a possession, we'll keep going indefinitely until we get a winner. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a 13-yard pickup as the downs reset.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9. And I know you with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys, poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
So now the attention shifts to the Sooners. A touchdown would send them to the championship game. A field goal would push this semifinal to another overtime. And he will score. Well, it took overtime, but his guys are moving on to the national championship game. So this a crushing way for a season to